Welcome back to another episode of Sully's Mistake Factory. Hell, we even already had a mistake before we even kicked off today with a little technical difficulty, so we're reshooting the intro here so we can get you some footage. If you look, we already have some glass down. We are working under the boat today. We're working on the transom. We finally got a little bit of a warm up here in New England. We got a little false spring going on, and I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve. So, what does that mean today, guys? Today we are glassing in all the spots on the transom here from when we took off those underwater lights. Now, if you'll remember those underwater lights, some of those were screwed in, some of them were just held in with Sikaflex, but all of them had a wire, obviously, going through the hull. So we have to go ahead and fill all of those holes where the wire went all the way through with hull and deck. That's my preferred filler. It's a great ester type of filler. It's very thick, fills the hole very nice, and then you can go ahead and lay glass right over top of it. And we're gonna go ahead and also hit some of our low spots on here as well. We've already got some pre-cut glass fabrics here, different sizes, because we're gonna go ahead from small to large as we laminate out on that and get those all laminated up. And because this is not epoxy, we do have kind of a tight time window as we're working with this stuff here because it is cold. So we gotta kick it a little hot to make sure that it's going to kick off, but we still need to make sure that we give ourselves enough of a working window. So now, what are we gonna do, guys? Like I said, we've got our hull and deck, we've got our gloves, we've got our rollers, we've got all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking that out. MEKP, gonna need that if we wanna kick this stuff off. We've got our hull and deck right here, and then we've got our polyester premium resin right here. This is the wax added. You guys can do wax added, non-wax added. It really doesn't matter to me. But for me, for how I use it and for what I do, I like wax added. I want the stuff to cure. I want to be able to come back tomorrow, touch it, and not have an Emmy and blush on there and get that all over and have to wipe it down. Yes, that does mean if I do want to add another coat on top of this, do any more glass work, I do need to I do need to go ahead and sand that, which isn't a big deal. Take a little 80 grit, knock the edge off of it, put a little tooth to it, and you are good to go. So, go ahead, first things first, guys, you got to glove up, make sure you got your protection on. And unlike what your high school or junior high, I don't know where you went to school, sex ed teacher said, double bagging does work, guys. Put that second rubber on.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That way, when you are laminating, you can pull off that top layer when it's all loaded up with fiberglass and gunk on there, and you're still good, and you're not trying to put this glove back over a sweaty hand. It just never works. So, contrary to what they told you in high school, at least when you're laminating, double bag it. It's your pro tip of the day right there, guys. Always helpful, handy information in these videos, isn't it? So, without further ado, go ahead, we'll get gloved up. I'll dole out a small dollop of the old hull and deck here, and then what we will do is catalyze it. But what I'm gonna do is dollop this out, make sure we've got that ready to go. Before we catalyze it, I'm also going to go ahead and get our resin out as well, so that way we can just kind of one foul swoop, you know, hit it and run kind of a thing. So all y'all who are not familiar with hull and deck, this stuff is awesome. I got turned on to it when I came up here to New England. It's just a thickened resin. I really love to know all the contents in it because when you grind this stuff after you're done, it will spark sometimes. So I'm really curious as to what the hell they put in this, but man, is it amazing. And as the name implied, it's good for hulls and decks. Hell, even a hull and deck joint. You want to bond, you want to fill, this is your stuff right here. So go ahead, put that back. It's always nice to have a handy dandy shelf to put things on as you're working. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dole out some resin here as well. Like I said, I'm not gonna catalyze it yet, but we are gonna go ahead and get it afterwards ready to go. And again, can't say enough, guys, when you're doing this, flat surfaces are your friend. Having plenty of flat surfaces to put things out on goes a long way. So let's go ahead and as I look for a flat surface there, I'm gonna put about 8 ounces or so of resin in here because that's just the minimum amount that it'll show. I think it's a bit excessive for what we need, but let's just see. A little more. And let's call it there. Looks like about 6, maybe 7 ounces, which will be plenty for what we're trying to do here. Again, we're not trying to build a boat, just trying to get this stuff sealed up. So got that done. Got my bucket of acetone right here with my roller, ready to rock and roll. Got my resin right there. I've got some strand right there. I've got my chop strand that goes on over this after it's all said and done. So, without further ado, see what kind of a mess we can make here, guys. Gonna need a spreader because we're gonna go ahead and fill these holes in as we go. And again, I'm not trying to do all of them at once here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get this big one done, and then we got a couple over here. So that's why we're just mixing up a small amount of this Holland deck. And again, I'm not trying to bridge the whole gap with the Holland deck here. I'm not trying to fill it all in. The glass is gonna go over top of all of it. Because again, we've drilled out all those holes. I've run a counter bore into it and made sure that it is got a nice beveled and clean surface. Wiped it already all down with acetone. It should, in theory, be good. So go ahead, close that up. And now we're gonna go ahead and mix up this Holland deck. It's just a little MEKP, go ahead and catalyzes it. And this stuff's gonna churn colors once it's got thoroughly mixed. It's not a huge, super noticeable change, but it does change color a little bit. But you just wanna make sure you're thoroughly mixing this stuff around. So the last thing you want is to have this stuff not cured. All this is gonna be for naught if this is your starting point and your base layer of things. And if this doesn't cure, now you're gonna have to go back and hit the reset button and do this all over again. So here we have it. So now, go ahead and I'm just gonna shmoo a little bit on there. And I'm just using my mixing stick for this, and then I'll take my spreader to it afterwards. But go ahead and just trying to help fill those gaps just a little bit. And this also seems a little odd to me, guys. I'm used to laminating and having music going because that's kind of how my internal timer works. So kind of nice to know what kind of times you got. So enough on here. We're going to go ahead, try and get a couple of these other ones sweeted in. You're going to notice, guys, on here, I don't have the JC Whitney chrome kit on here. I do have aluminum foil placed down on everything. There's a reason for that. I didn't, it's not just aesthetics, it's not just all pretty for the fish here. That is so that we can have, instead of trying to tape all this off, we have this we can work from, and if anything drips on it, whatever, we can just wipe it right off. It's all good, it's not sticking to anything. Because trying to get tape to stick to a hull that you've just sanded is a less than fun proposition most of the time. All right. So that is done. Go ahead and try and get as much of that out of there as I can, and I just leave that on this guy right here, because once it cures off, it just pops right off of there. Plus, this way, I know that it cured. I have a reference point for curing. So we've got that. We'll go ahead and we'll get our resin over here. We're gonna move this guy back out of the way. And we're gonna move this guy somewhere, probably with that for now. Just to kind of keep tabs on it. Now for our resin here, again, like I said, guys, it's cold. So I need this resin to cure. So I gotta kick it a little hot, because, yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. My squeeze bottle is empty, as you've seen, and I didn't realize that until we started filming, and I don't wanna stop and refill this. So I'm just gonna fill it this way, but at least this way I can kind of keep tabs on how much I'm adding in there. That shouldn't be too hot, but should still give us the desired results we want. So what we do now is we put that in there, put our cover back on. Out of all the chemicals we deal with, that's my least favorite one because it does burn, the MEKP. We go ahead, we stir this up right here. This is gonna change colors. It's gonna go from kind of a golden brown motor oil color to a, I don't know, for lack of a better term, dirty motor oil, I guess, kind of a greenish brown. So we make sure we got that well stirred up. Then we're gonna get a little on this cardboard here and wet it out. And then we're gonna put our fiberglass on there. so that it can get wet out, but I like to get the cardboard wetted out first. So do that. Now we can start putting some of our fiberglass on here and let it soak in. And then we'll flip it over. Make sure we have good saturation. All the while, kind of stir up your resin as you're going here, guys. Kind of like patting your head and stomach at the same time, rubbing your belly or whatever. But if you do that, it'll help elongate that pot life for your resin. You know, I'm just trying to keep that exothermic reaction slowing down. Same thing again, we wet it, we flip it over. Make sure we've got plenty on there. One more piece to go, so we'll wet that out. And then what we're gonna do is wet out the area on the actual boat itself to make sure that we've just got great adhesion and that we are what some might call a resin-rich environment. That's when we've got a little bit extra resin than what we normally would have. Again, I'd rather have that. Yes, it's gonna be a little more brittle, but didn't even know what that was when they built this boat, I promise. There you go. It's nice to have that aluminum foil on here as well, because now we're getting a little drips on our zincs and whatnot. And while we're doing that, I can go ahead and actually put this piece right over our screw hole. That first piece is pretty much saturated. So go ahead and we'll put that guy in place right there. That's where our roller, we'll get it out of the acetone. We'll go ahead and roll that guy in place right there. Same with right there. Make sure we get our air bubbles out. And again, we're starting with our smaller pieces here. And then we're going to work our way up to larger pieces, and we are going to crisscross these guys so we get the most strength out of it. If we can go ahead and make sure that that happens. There we go. And then what I'm going to do, another piece right here, lay that out on the table and get that started to wet out. Meanwhile, this guy, I'm gonna roll off a little bit of the excess resin. Again, we don't need it. Just lay him right on there, make sure the glass isn't folded onto itself. Oh, man, just take me back. That guy back down on our bucket. Do our best to try to clean up some of our resin. And then what we want to do, and this is why we really double bag here, guys, is chop strand. I love the stuff, but man, it will stick to everything. So this is 1.5 ounce chop strand. Just tear what you need. And because we're kind of a resin-rich environment, I can go ahead and tear off a little chunk right there. Pat her in place. A little more resin on the old brush. And just dab that in place like that. And that's gonna help smooth our edges so we don't end up with a hard edge with that fiberglass and those bigger pieces when it's that heavier cloth like that. Just makes my life a little easier. You don't even have to get it all. I'm gonna leave a little bit extra right there that's dry, and that's fine. That'll just sand right off. So, but like I said, guys, it sticks to F all everything. Like I said, this also kind of helps in that resin-rich environment I was talking about. It's just filling that in a little bit extra right there. So hopefully we don't have a ton of filler on this when it's all said and done. Hopefully we're sanding away, not adding to it. So welcome to the next day. If you guys can't tell, I can see my breath in here. Our false spring is done. But the good news here, guys, is all three of our laminate layups did indeed cure out for us. So the chemical reaction was good, everything's nice and hardened off, and now we can get ready to go ahead and sand it. I want to talk to you about some of the stuff we did last night as well. Remember we did talk about the hull and deck, and when I cleaned it all up, I said I'm just going to leave it on my spreader here because the spreader is going to be reusable. And this is one of those cool things you can just do, so it's reusable. Leave that on there. Most people would wipe it off, acetone and everything, but if you leave it on there, just pull it off, it's nice and clean. And now you still got a good usable spreader right there. So you can do that. Now we're ready to go. When we get this all sanded down, we have our low spots. We've got a spreader ready to go, and we can use our filler and get that all taken care of. So speaking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and get our sander out, and I'm gonna get the vacuum out because we wanna be courteous to our neighbors here in the shed and make sure we're not creating a ton of dust and mess for everybody else. And we're gonna get some 60 grit, some 80 grit, and we're gonna go ahead and get after sanding this all down. Sanding this all down means I gotta go get back in the dust monkey suit again, put my gloves on, and that's actually gonna be welcome because, like I said, guys, it's getting colder in here by the minute. So hopefully getting after this, we're gonna get this sanded. Hopefully we don't lose too much temperature today, and we can go ahead and get some premium fill, or whatever filler we end up using. I don't even know what I've got on hand, to go ahead and hit our high spots here. So without further ado, guys, let's get after it. Let's get suited up, and let's see what kind of a mess we can get into. So now we are making progress on the sanding here. It's taking about 10 minutes per each one of these sections here, give or take. And we're doing the 60 grit sandpaper on here. And as you can start to see, we're getting it knocked down. We've got a couple little lows in here. We can see those, they're kind of shiny. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up yet or not, but we've got a couple of low spots in here. We can sand and fare those down a little bit more. But the good news is we're getting sanding into the glass right here that we have put on. Now, the idea here, at least how I was taught many moons ago, back, I don't know, 30 plus years ago, I guess, you want to build out with as much glass as possible, and you want to keep the fillers to a minimum, whether they're a premium filler or any of those other kinds of fillers. We want to keep those to a minimum. We want to give as much glass and as much structure and strength as we can. So yes, I'm going to have a couple of spots where we're going to have to just go ahead and screed over this and sand most of it away, but we're doing pretty good here. So now I'm going to get back after it. We'll set up the time lapse, and we'll get the sander back ripping here with a bunch of 60 grit. It's taking me about 3 or 4 discs per section, and like I said, about 10 minutes. It's not hateful. And we're gonna go ahead and keep getting after this thing until we run out of sandpaper, steam, or it just gets really effing cold. So cue the time lapse. All right, so I'm back at the little kids table here. We have everything all sanded down. We've gone ahead, we've wiped it down, we've got it all prepped. I went up in the old storage cabinet here on board, and I found that I had some Formula 27 right here. So this is a good filler. It's going to take a cream hardener that is included. Yeah, like I said, you can pretty much use any of these fillers, guys. 3M makes a premium fill. All of these work pretty well. You're going to want to make sure that you put a barrier coat on top of this once this is all done, because this is not waterproof. This is, what do they call this? Water resistant. So it's kind of key here, guys. Take that. That is the Formula 27 Evercoat. Works really good. It's what I had laying around. So we're going to go ahead, mix that up on the mixing board here, and we're going to glove up here and go ahead and get after making sure we get this stuff all spread out. It's like marine grade Bondo, basically. I'm sure that's not what they want me to say it's like, but that's basically what this is, guys. It's a filler. We're trying to fill in those low spots like I talked about post sanding, just making sure we're getting a nice smooth surface. Again, this doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Doesn't have to be anything like that at all. We just want a nice level surface that we can work with. So make sure the can's stirred up good. This is probably gonna be it. We'll let this cure out overnight, assuming we get this stuff to lay down all nice and pretty here. Nice little bit on the board right there. And then we've got our cream hardener. I like to make sure that this is also thoroughly mixed around. And given how cold it is, same thing as with our resin. We're gonna mix this just a touch hotter than you would expect to have to do. So I'm just gonna grab the hardener from the other bottle that I've got here as well. That way we just make sure we are good to go. I'm not spreading something we're gonna be wiping back off. So go ahead and make a little dollop. Some people like using the different color hardener. That way they can tell when it's thoroughly mixed in. This is white on white. It's all right. I've done this enough. I know what this is like to mix. So we're just gonna go on that. Now again, because it's colder, we're gonna get a little bit of a longer working window, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't kick this off too hot. This has been sitting next to a heater, so this is actually pretty good. And then we just take a little bit, put it in our spreader here, get our stir stick cleaned up. Go ahead and we smooth that on there like that. Do that a couple of times. The whole idea here, guys, is I'm trying to, again, go a little heavy on this, so that way the next pass of sanding, we're in good shape. Bada bing, bada boom. Keep moving on. There we go. Just like that, we've gone ahead, we got the first 3 done. We'll go ahead and keep trucking along. Get this all cleaned up, and we're gonna mix up another batch and do this next batch. And then we'll let it sit overnight. Come back, it's gonna look a lot like we just did. Where I'm gonna go ahead and sand this all back down. Trying to get this thing all nice and pretty and flush. And that should get us one step closer. In theory, we might warm up again enough where I can get some barrier coat on this. And then we can figure out where those lights are gonna land. So, without further ado, I'm gonna do that. Next time you see this after a little time lapse, we'll be sanding this back down again, I'm sure. Let's get after it. So now we're on the last day of this, guys, for this episode. All of the filler has been on, it is all cured out, it is all ready to get sanded. So we're gonna go ahead, suit up, get the sander out, just like we did before, except this is gonna sand a lot quicker, and we're gonna get this all fared down. Hopefully there's no low spots, but if there are, we'll just do a quick little screech on there and give it a little quick pass and get that thing all nice and trued up and squared away for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Next week, guys, there's not going to be an episode, unfortunately. That's because I'm gonna be down at the Palm Beach Boat Show creating some content down there for other feeds on our Navtronics YouTube channel. So make sure to give us a follow and a like there. Plus, I'm sure we'll have some stuff on Instagram as well. So I'm gonna suit up, try and stay warm, get this going. Next time you guys see this, hopefully it's barrier coated all up, sealed up, and we are going to be talking about light placement, things to consider when installing underwater lights with shadows and separation of space. And because we're doing 6 underwater lights with the potential to do 8 down the road, we want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success on the side as well. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so yet, you hung around this long, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube at Navtronics. I'm gonna suit up and we're gonna time lapse our way out of here with me sanding in on this. See you guys next week.